Okay, let's see if this works. It should be broadcasting right now. Let's go to. Okay, apparently it is streaming the screen of my iPad. We'll see if this is working. I will go over to. We'll go over to here, see if I can get the chat going on my phone. That could be really good. And then I'll start advertising. Oh, I could say I'm stream starting soon, actually. I should do that. Where's that broadcast screen, which is the scenes? There they are. I'll do default. And then we will, which has got a weird little thing there. I don't know if I want the, not sure if I want this entire layout. Let's see, it has to have the watermark because I don't have premium status. And then there's the background, then there's the color image, there's the fill, there's the pattern. Okay, now I'm hearing myself on a delay, which I do not like. But I'll switch over to Pick Square. Hang on. Hang on, is this muted? I'm trying to stop this from muting here. I'm trying to mute this so that I'm not listening to it. Hang on. Okay, it is working. For some reason I'm not muting here. I just need to figure out how to mute myself. And once that happens, we'll be able to go. Ah, wrong button. Okay. Well, if anything else, I can just put this on to put the thing on mute. All right. Yay, we are working. And Jose Achaluta's there. All right, so we're actually going to do the... Hang on. Okay. This is Pick Square. It's my favorite pixel art. Hado says Cats and Grapes. Yep. This is just a regular iPad. Yep. I use this weird thing that apparently is very. I don't like how it's kind of put it all into this weird little corner there, but it does seem to be working in a lot of other ways as well. I can maybe make it so that it's horizontal and then it doesn't take up as much space. But whatever, it works. Would I rather have 1 million Dunsparce or 1 million Johto Quillfish? I don't know. Dunsparce at least can evolve into Dunsparce, but Quillfish can also go into a lot of things too. Quillfish has a cuter expression, I think. Okay, so that's working. Now it's still on a delay, so I'm just going to see what happens if I put it horizontally. Yep, there's a full thing there. Okay. I might be able to make it so that there's not just two blank spaces, although they are at least suede purple, I will give it that. Okay, that's better. I think I'll do it in what's the word, portrait mode. I don't know why there's no chat there. It should show the chat, but I'm going to I'll do that by heading over to Stream Champ. Nope. Is this meant to be the chat or not? Nah, whatever. It's fine, whatever. It's just a weird thing. Let's just get started. That's the best thing to do right now. So yes, I can see the chats, everything's going well. This is body doubling. It's to help people with ADHD actually get some freaking things done. This is my favorite pixel art thing, so much so that I bought the full thing because it's really cool. It's called Pick Square. You can animate with it, and you can also draw pixel art stuff with it. This is a little kiwi that this is my animation that I made with it before. See? Oh, he's so worried. Yep, that's me going from side. Yep. It was just a quick loop. And then you can also see how big it is over there. That's the actual size. It's actually very small. But yeah, we don't want that. Wow, what happened? It's okay. But moving back, the real meat of this here is that we're going to do the patrons. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry about the loss of your dog. That's always a tough thing to go through. So yes, here are the patrons. These are the $10 commissions that I've done so far. I've done, let's see, Bayleaf. This one's for Easy Walker. We've done this one that was for Evan Bao. This one's for Kabuto. I can't remember what for. Is Giratina / Shadow Lugia. All right, let's see what we've got on the commissions next. Then hold on, I'll just go over here. I can either do, because for $10 you get one with a 4 color palette that's in the style of an old Game Boy, and then let me just get the chat up, and then for $20 you can get wrong button, get back here. No, not the Kiwi. Okay, and then for $20 you get like full color ones. This one, that was for let's see, the Pyukumuku was for Trey. It was for Trey. Sandslash, I can't remember what that was for. Now, yeah, because I forgot to name them properly before. All right, so let's just start from the beginning then. The first commission was Slowking with a Genesis color palette that looks reserved and friendly. Is there any? Is there? This is just a regular Slowking, not a Galarian Slowking. Well, then let's see. And I don't think there's any other way to draw a Slowking other than reserved and friendly, because it's the their main raison d'etre, really. So what we do is we start it up. That's a 64 by 64 color palette. We go to the art. We get new artwork. Okay, so 64 by 64. 64 by 64. And then we have untitled artwork. Instead, it will be called, okay, this is for Walking Tree. So Walking Tree, let's see. And that's Slowking, underscore Slowking. Where is it? I keep forgetting where the underscore is in the Mac. Oh, there it is. Okay, underscore Slowking. All right. Return, and then we want to have kind of a Sega Genesis style, platform. Let's see, which one kind of feels most Sega Genesis-y? I think this one does. And then we'll create. There we go, and here we go. Now we've got the regular stuff. We've got the palette. We've got the layers. Got the swipe me button, which is about gestures basically. If I want to do like fun gestures, but I don't need that at the moment because it's quite simple. Now we've got the brush tool. What we always do is that for the bottom layer we want to do the basics. Okay, so do a nice kind of light blue color, or like a teal color works out best. Now we got to figure out like what it's going to look like. So we have a regular old Slowbro looking just kind of nice and serene. So we need a quick reference, I'd say. Hold on. Let me just make sure it's safe here. I'll just quickly add go to change the scene to Be Right Back. Default. And here we go. And now we can finally settle down and do the actual commission. Let's do this. All right. Let's see. I need to finish out and draw. Sorry, I need to, because I had to get everything set up. I have to make sure that I've come back to a torrent of chats. Let's see. Any thoughts on Gen X? The starters look okay. It looks a little bit too much like Sun and Moon, but at the same time, apparently it's Southeast Asia, so that's quite different as well. So I'm not worrying too much. Let's see. Kiwi could use a hat, Joel. Let's see. Let's see. What's the movie Airplane on as an in-flight movie? That one's always funny. Let's see. If you were to die and be reincarnated as a Pokemon, what would that Pokemon be? Obviously, Zoroark, because not only is he cool, he also is able to disappear, which is nice. Let's see. Yep. Am I dead? Wait. I think I'm alive. I had to go away for a second, but I think I'm back now. Oh no, yeah, we are back. Cool. No issues at the moment, I feel. All right, so now we've got reference stuff here. Okay, so we got the move tool. We'll move him over there, get him out of the way so that he's a reference. So now we go to the layer 1, which will be the background layer. We get into the brush, and then we just have to figure out how exactly we're gonna. He's just serene and happy. Should I just do like a big face, which would be kind of funny, or maybe just chill. Maybe I could have him doing like a little pose. That could be a little like yoga pose. Like do 2 circles here, and then a like there, then that could work, and then little tail up in the corner there. This is just super rough. That doesn't really work with the crown though. I want to be able to see the crown, so maybe like that, and then a circular bit there. I could do like a thing there with the horns up this way, another horn over here, then a bit more up here. If I made it a bit smaller, I could make this work. So let's just grab the whole layer, bring it down a bit and also in a bit. There we go. So about there, and then about a spiky out there. Let's see. There we go. Doesn't look like much at the moment, but that's just how the rough goes. The heck is that? You'll see. That's just the rough. Let's see. So now, okay, that's all right. Yep, they can work. All right. So first of all, we need to do another layer, or at least like I could probably just make sure that the different arms, the arms and legs, so that I can tell which ones are the arms and legs. So put those there. Then like the tail and stuff. Then the. Yeah. I admit that looks really weird. Then work over here. Okay. Then what we need to do is make sure that okay. So now we just need to. All right, and then we'll have a nice background in the background, obviously. So now we've got the blocking done. Now we need to make the next layer, which is this one, I believe. Yep. New clear layer, please, not a copy. Now then, okay. I'll draw over the top. So what we need is a I think we want to do like a black outline. I've done black outlines on the others, I believe. Yeah, all the other ones I've done black outlines, so we'll go for that. Okay, so we want to go for, oh, hang on, do layer 1, and then we'll just turn the what's it called again? The opacity. Turn the opacity down. Where is it? Color temperature, outline, color adjustment. I know that there's a thing for it. Just need to remember what it is. There it is, the opacity. Cool. Bring it down a bit to about there. Head up back to the first layer. It does look like a clown because a slow king looks a bit like a clown. That's kind of funny how it works like that. Okay, so full black. Let's see. I actually think what we'll do is that we want to do a bit of a yoga pose, and then we'll put that over there. Now, one of the things that people tend to miss in pixel art is that it's usually better if the thickness, it's like 1 pixel can make it look super different, and it's to keep the kind of thinness of the lines and make it feel more like a brush. You try and get rid of sort of those like corner connections like that. Okay, so then what we do is we bring the other one over here. I think I'll do like one of those yoga poses where they've kind of got their thumbs together. I think you guys know what I mean. Let's see. Have I tried RE9? I finished it. I've nearly finished my second playthrough. I like it a lot, but that's mainly because I like Leon, because he inspired the entire Suede persona with his wonderful jacket in RE4, and you can play through the entire game in his RE4 jacket. Isn't that awesome? Let's see. So that one, that side looks a little bit too sharp there. I'll put in a bit more like that. I think. Erase that, and up there a bit. That's pretty good. Now, then probably want to like have a bit of chunk out the side, and then let's thumbs around here. Not a bit more symmetrical, I think. There we go. Then. Downward dog or salute the sun. Well, no, I know about the lotus position. That's the first thing that back in the day in like the 90s and stuff, like everybody just assumed that yoga was simply being in the lotus position and going om. That's where you do that weird kind of full cross-legged thing. Okay, now that one's got kind of a round one there, so then I might, okay, that's always a bit better. Now this leg looks a little too chunky, so we just want it to look more consistent with my style. Put that over there. It's hard that one I might just have to leave. That's pretty good. If I just put one more black spot there we go. That's the stuff. Yes. And then, because I know that he's got, okay, so he's got a toenail here, but he has pink thumbs coming out. So there's a toenail, but he also has a couple of thumbs coming out. So about there. Let's see if we can make the thumbs not look too out of whack. Maybe like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Then another one here. That looks a little bit off. I'll just try doing one more out this way. Kind of. Maybe if I get rid of this one and add another. Okay, yeah, that can work. That'll work. I might just do one more erasure over here. Bring that over there. There we go. Now that's a bit more like it. Okay. Then we need to start on the ruffle, which I've always been a little worried about. Oh, I can see us. Did I go mute? Okay. It's I can hear it fine in my own in the monitor. Are you guys like cutting in and out? Yeah, I can see you guys. It's just I do have a bit of a delay going on. Oh yeah. Okay, I can see you. How could I see you if there's no camera? I have the iPad here, but I also have the live chat on my phone off to the side. So yeah, that's how it works. Okay, so we've got that. Now we need to bring a bit of a kind of loopy thing, but not too loopy. I want to be able to kind of see it, but also I think what we need. I think we don't want the a black for that because it'll just overlap a bit too much. I think maybe we just need a white along here. It's all right. Okay, I think I know what to do. I'll use the line tool. It'd probably be the best way to do this. So like here, then over here. Oh, dang it. No, that's not it. Okay, then bring the line over here. Then bring a third line over to here, then over to here, then over to here, then back here. We just need to work through that. I think actually that should be an overlap. So I'll do that in a new layer. But back to this layer though. Yeah. I guess we'll work on this for a little bit, just so that we have a vague idea of how we're going to make this work. So we need the colors. Luckily, there's this wonderful color picker in the. Let's see. Oh, unfortunately, though, the only problem with the color picker is that it only picks colors from within the work area, which is kind of weird, but it's okay. So we grab the color from here, I'd say. That's the perfect pink. And then we'll fill it in around here, actually. We'll use the dropper. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's there's a fill tool somewhere. That's a shape, that's a selection, that's the color. It's the eyedropper. That's not it. Where's the fill tool? I know there's one around here somewhere. There we go, brush type. That's the eraser. That's the stroke type. Fill, here it is. Oh no, that's for filling, my bad. Quick selection. It's a color bucket. There it is, okay. So fill mode, just regular fill, thanks. And we will use the, okay, I've still got the color, so I'll just quickly add that color there at the bottom to make sure that I remember. Oh no, the audio isn't working still? That's so weird. Oh no, well, Jose's saying that things are working good on their end, so it's like I'm hearing it fine on my end, and I'm just going straight from YouTube. Or is it just the comments being super weird again? I'll quickly check the Discord just to be safe. Let's see. No, I'm not hearing any people. I'm not hearing any people complaining about it. I'll just quickly check Blue Sky just in case there's any complaints on that end. Nope, I'm not seeing anything there. So I think it might just be you. I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure it's just PMOS Vibes Pokemon. That's it. Unless, let me just check the system. No, it seems to be working okay. All right. Well, anyway, back to at least if I'm in the zone, as someone else said, if I'm in the zone, that means it's working. So let's just do the fill. Okay, there we go. Nice, nice, and nice. Very cool. And let's see. I might as well get the rest of the palette while I'm here. So I also need a darker, then the yellow, and also a darker yellow. Okay, then the white and the red will probably work really well. Well, I've got a white already, so it should be all right. We just mainly need that red, I think. But I might make that a little... It's a bit too pastel-y. I'll see if I can make that a bit of a more... Oh, I'm glad that it's better now. Okay, so... Okay, back to black. I want to be as clean black as possible. Ah! Dang it. That's it. So we probably want to overwhelm it. There we go. Then bring the white down. It should be like there. Okay. Then we bring that over there. And then I believe I'll grab the reference layer and I'll move that over. So now that I've got all of the reference colors that I need. Yeah, there's just one toe, so that works out pretty well. Then we switch back to layer 2, get it going. There we go. Now the main thing to do with it's okay, Blasix. If you've ever so have you ever done have you ever done $10 or $20? If you've ever been a $10 or $20 Patreon in any capacity in my entire career, just send me a message on Patreon and I'll do one anyway, just as a show of good faith. But yes, okay. So we want the yellow there, which is this one, and we're going to fill that in about here. Yep. The rest of them will probably be the dark pink for these ones over there. Now, there we go. Now, we don't want... I want to be able to show that there's kind of a line there, so maybe I'll just do a darker version of this, which will be... bring it down a bit. But don't want it to be a darker yellow. I want to be a more desaturated yellow. That's it. There we go. That should work. Then use the brush, bring it in. Okay, that's pretty good. And then slightly darker gray from here to here. Yep, same with this one. Yep, that's good. Now we want the darker pink. Let's do a bit of shading here while we're at it. But we also want to make sure that he's shiny, because you can tell from the lighter bits at the top of the skin that he's, even though he is meant to be a giant otter, he's still got to have that kind of slick, shiny look. So we got a nice kind of, there we go. Then we need a much lighter version of this, which should be like, would that work? No, that's darker even. Okay, well, I'll just bring this up, bring the brightness up a bit, about there-ish. That's pretty good. So there we go. That's looking better. Boing, 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 boing. All right, make sure that the light's coming from the same place. This is meant to be a Buddhist looking. That could be fit for the last Shudo episode. Ah, it's true. I didn't even think of that. But it's a good kind of... okay, a bit of a... Then maybe a bit over there. Ah, come back here. Okay, make sure that all the light's coming from the same direction. Sometimes you can add a few more at the top just to be a little snazzy. Now we'll bring the dark one over with some more over here. I might do a little bit of stippling just so that it adds a tiny bit of texture to it. There we go. There we go. For some reason, I've always been not like reasonably good at pixel art, but it's more of a, unfortunately, it's more of a talent than an actual skill. I do need to do better. Might make that a bit darker, just so that it's more distinguished. There we go. That's pretty good. Although I might just bring this in a little bit. No, I might just make this a little darker. Hold on, I can. Dang it! I keep forgetting about the color picking. If I want to bring it back, there we go. Hey, get back here. There we go. There we go. There we go. Cool. Let's see. Can I do stand up? I've never even. I mean, like, there's been times where I've kind of wondered if I could do stand up because I do jokes, but I'm not sure I can do it on the fly. It's been a while. I mean, like, I haven't ever done anything like that. I used to like doing improv, but it's a very different skill set. Okay, that's pretty good. I might just do a couple of little dots on the bottom just to give it a bit more texture. All right, then. Oh yeah, the tail, silly. And then the most important part is the head, but yeah, it's kind of it's a very thick tail, so about over there. There we go. Not quite. It needs to be more of a circle, like about there. There we go. Not quite. We're almost there though. That should work. Just a little more. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Then we'll erase a couple of bits there. And then we'll darken it, bring it up to the brightness with the fill over here. Hey Phil, get over here. There you go. And then use the optic, bring it over to the brush again. Hey, there we go. Grab that. Okay. There we go. Or should I? Yeah, that works a bit better. Cool. Although I might just do a full bright there just because the tip of the tail is meant to be super shiny. So, and it's also kind of a reference to slowpoke tails. Okay. Cool. And what is my diet? It is food. Food is my diet. It has worked very well for me so far. Had a wrong number account. I hate it when wrong numbers happen. It just makes you feel so embarrassed. Okay. Let's see. So then we bring that over. Cool. Maybe a little more. All right. I'd say this one, actually. I apologize if there's noise that might be just from me tapping the mic and moving my hands around too much. All right, then probably the best thing to do now would be to move on to the head, much as I'm not a big fan of that, but let's see. Layer 3, there we go. Let's just do a rough to start it off. Can I bend it? Can I please? Okay, I know there's a way to bend it. I'm just trying to remember how you do it. No, I think there's a polygon tool. Hold on. There it is, line type. There we go. Bendy, thank you, sir. Okay, so then we go over to here. There we go, and then you drag it like that. And then you, yep. And then I tap it, I think. Okay, then bring that over here, drag it up a little. Then bring that over there, drag it up a little. It's not really working as best as I'd like, but I can probably round it out later. Ah, dang it. And I'll just do a loose one first. Let's see, loose. How many are on your average ruffle? So 1, 2, 3, 4. About 4 ruffles. There's usually a little one in the, there's a circular one in the middle, so about there. There we go. I kind of got it for a second there. Cool. And there we go. There we go. That's the stuff. I feel like it just needs to be adjusted a little. Bring it down a little, about here. And then I'll erase some parts of it and then bring it in a bit. So there we go. And then circle that up a bit. And erase down here. Make it so that it's a bit thinner. Lovely. That's not quite working. I'll bring a couple up here so that way it's more rounded. Not looking that great there actually. So oh, I'm so silly. I should have done the face first. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So there's the two tops. Then we'll do just kind of a nice chill smile over here. Maybe I'll just quickly switch to the line and bring that down a bit. Yep, that'll work. Now the main thing is that we want to have a big serene kind of, there we go. That's pretty good. Then maybe around there. No, it's not quite work. No. There we go. It's starting to come together a little bit. That works. So we bring that over here and a couple of lines here to make it a bit thinner. See if I can make a sort of, let's see. Some lady had texted my number and trying to get in contact with some chef to cook Japanese food at her house. Oh, that's so weird. It must be in kind of a well-off area, I suppose. Let's see. Have I read any good manga lately? Probably there was one that was pretty good recently. That was, hang on, I'm trying to remember the name of it. No, there was. Let's see. I've been reading a few some of Junji Ito's short stories, and that's always really good. Like that's always a good time in a horrific way. Like the Dissolving Classroom, I think was one of them. But yeah.
I think My Son is Gay.
Yeah, there's that one too. There's also one called I Think My Son is Gay, which is quite a fun little skewering of Japanese societal norms, which is always fun. The problem is that he doesn't really look like he's smiling. I'll see if I can get him smiling a bit better in a minute. There we go. Let's try and get that one there. Then we'll erase there and there. Cool. That looks pretty good. Problem is that it doesn't look like he's smiling. It looks like he's asleep. Is there any way that I can make it so that he's smiling a little bit? Yep. Let's see how we go. Oh, that's pretty good. Let's do another one up here. There we go. That's how we did it. Nice. I feel like I'm not quite getting the symmetry here, but if I just do this, maybe bring it around a little, then erase that. There we go. Nice. Now I should probably also give him like, he has eyebrows. Sweet. Oh no, those aren't eyebrows. Those are teeth. My bad. But I can work with that. I can use the teeth to give him kind of a nice kind of serene eyebrows like this. Let's see. Let's see it. Bit further out, I think. About there. There we go. About there. Cool. Oh, DP Adventures. I keep hearing that's pretty good. Oh, the unofficial history of Resident Evil. That's always pretty cool. There's always such fun lore that you keep that you don't really need to know, but it's always just kind of fun to find out. Like about that weird that weird kind of New Atlantis thing that was really wild for a while. I can't believe they actually did that. So we put that over here and then move that up to about here. That should work. Yep. I feel like that's not quite working. Let's try that one more time. Up. Let's see. From about here, I'd say, then just move it up to about here. That'll work. Yep. Now let's get. I feel like the we've got a good thing going with the rough on this side, but not really on this side. So maybe I should just kind of sculpt it a bit over here. So we bring this over and maybe round it out on the edges around this area there. There we go. Push it in. Sculpt this over there. I'm mainly doing this because a lot of people don't even know that I have rewards on my Patreon because I've done so badly in getting it done. So I'm wanting to and because body doubling has been helping me to get the streaming done, I want to be able to do the same for commissions. It's only fair for the people who have been patient and hung out with me and held out for so long for new Suede content, and I'm hoping there's going to be a lot more coming soon. Let's see, so we'll put that over here. That should be okay. Then, okay, so then comes a slightly trickier part, which is the all of the Resident Evil knowledge is what you can comprehend from Phaelus's videos. Yeah, that was kind of it for me too. I was way too scared of Resident Evil until I played Resident Evil 4, and that was kind of what helped me to understand not just Resident Evil, but horror in general. I kind of got it after I've kind of got the idea behind horror in general after Resident Evil 4, so I've always had a bit of a soft spot for it like that. Okay, that's pretty good. That's really good for a first try of the horn. Well done me. It's not to toot my own horn. Ha ha ah. Oh, this is the content you join up for, fellas. Okay, then we've got a large bit at the back there. You don't often think about that, but it's kind of maybe a little bit more. A little bit bigger, not too much bigger though. Let's say about there. That'll work. And luckily I don't need to do the eyes at the back. So about there. It should be a little bit smaller, I think, but we'll get there in a sec. Let's see. Okay, that's definitely not right. So bring it up about there. That's all right, but it's not quite working, is it? It's too there's too much over there. We'll do that in a sec. Let's see. Found RE4 for Wii for $3. Wow. The original Resident Evil is for Resident Evil on PS1 got you into horror. That's really cool. Well, yeah, and not to mention the movie House is Sweet Home is what originally inspired Resident Evil, not House, but yeah, still. I just love the fact that a lot of it's just because it was called Resident Evil, let's be honest, because Resident Evil is just such a fascinating name for pretty much anything. Okay, I feel like I gave him too much headroom here. That's not... I went over the max headroom. So there we go. We'll bring that down over here. Perfect. Then we'll scoop it up. Okay. Feel like I'm not quite getting the proportions on this head right, but at the same time it is coming together. I can feel it. I'm really feeling it. All right. So, there we go. Which is funny. That's just because of the meme. I haven't actually played any of the Xenos. neither Gears nor Chronicles nor any of the others. Okay. Let's try and get the here we go, about there. Not quite. Bring that down a bit. No. Maybe this one. No. I think we had it for a second there. No. Yeah, that could work. Okay, and then we just need a nice little circle here. Ah! Get back here. No. Let's see about... There we go. That's good. Might shuffle that off a bit to the side. Okay, no, I need to make that one a another layer. I'll do that in a sec. Then we go up. Off to the side. Hey, that was pretty good. I just got it. Yeah, I got that not first try, but yeah. Bring that down. Nice. That's it. Yeah, cheesy over-the-top horror is usually a good kind of like gateway drug. Not quite. That doesn't quite make the perspective work. That's a bit better. Yeah, I don't want to let the enemy. I don't want perfect to be the enemy of done, but at the same time, I also want to set myself to a certain standard. Okay, and then there's the spiky bits on the top. Let's see, a little more over there. Yep. Okay, then a bit over there, a bit up there. Let's see, and then spike, 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 spike. All right, so that could work. We just need to make sure that there's no, not too much glitching going on in terms of how it looks. So it still reads nicely, as they say. Okay, now we just need the, just need a couple of dots there. Perfect. Okay, we're getting there. We are super close. He has a massive head, but I think it still works for what he's doing. He's kind of leaning forward, and that's hard to kind of get across. All right, so I might have to work on that, but it's all good. So let's do the fills now. We'll make it more of a bit whiter than your average. It should... I forgot. Oh, darn it. All right, let me just get rid of this. Get rid of this lot here. Make sure that it's filled in nicely. Okay, there we go. And just erase some of those features there that aren't really working. Bring it in a little more. Nice. Maybe, hang on. I might just, hang on. Might be a good idea just to, there we go. That's a bit better. Then erase those ones. That's good. Then we just need to, if I want to be game accurate, these parts the lines have to be black too, unfortunately. So there we go. Bring that over there, and then like actually that might not work as well as I thought. I think the lines are meant to go in the grooves of the in the downward grooves of the rough, not the upward grooves. So let's try that. That looks lovely. A little bit. Need to get rid of just one of them, I think. Yep, there we go. Then maybe one more down the middle. But you don't want to make it perfectly symmetrical, otherwise it looks too unnatural. Even though all life is somewhat symmetrical in a weird way. I might have to redo that. Yeah. Doesn't Didn't really fit the franchise. The first one that took place in an evil residential space, except for 7. 7's pretty cool. 7 went right back to being just an evil residence. Yeah, and Housey would also be a very generic haunted house. It's true. All right, so I feel like no, that's not. That's too wide. They're too narrow. I need to make it so that there we go. That's a bit more like it. Maybe a little bit more along the top here. Just make them wider. Dang it. What's going on? Okay, there we go. That's more like it. Then also on this side. Okay, bring that over there. Yeah, that could work. At the very least, that's inoffensive. So let's go for the reds. They told me to choose this one. I don't know if I'll actually go for that, which will be maybe a little darker. Make it more reddish, please. About over here-ish. Make it a bit redder, just a bit. Not too much, like that much. Get back here. There we go. That's a bit nicer. A daycare had a GameCube Resident Evil 4. Wow, that's wow. I don't know if I would approve of a daycare having Resident Evil 4. Okay, but I'll keep that because I can use that for the lighter highlights. I'll do that now, which is, okay, bring the lighter highlights over here. Let's see. Okay, then a few more over there. Okay, now some brighter brights. I mean, some. I want it to be white, but not too white. But we'll start off with too white, and we'll bring it down if we need to. Yeah, that's not quite working. We want that, but that's too close to the actual. Okay, so take that and bring that all the way, saturate that all the way down to like here, and then brighten that up to about here. So it's still bright. It's still not quite as beige as I would have preferred it. Maybe bring it down just a wee bit over to about here. Beige it down a wee bit. There we go. That'll work. Yep. Someone brought it from home. Oh, if it's a Japanese version, he's not decapitated. There's still a ton of blood in it, though. Let's see. Oh, dang it. I need to use the brush for this part. Then bring that over there. Bring that up there. Okay. I might do a slightly brighter version of these guys over here. Not quite. Let's see. All right, now we need to use the, we need to fill in the muzzle. It's not, that side's not quite round enough. Hold on. We'll bring that over here, and we will bring that over this way. That's a bit more like it. Bring the black on for the brush. So, that's not quite working. Hold on. There's something's not quite right. There we go. That's it. I don't know if that's like exactly the same, or at the very least it seems to be closer to it. Maybe over there. Yeah, that could work. Okay, now I need to. I think I accidentally off-centered the nose a bit there, so we'll bring the nose a bit closer to that way. 3 nostrils help. Okay, that's more like it. Yeah. Use the color picker over here. There we go. That's a bit nicer. And I wonder if. Yeah, that looks more like it. Or should I do what it actually does there? It's slightly angled, so maybe if I use that here, it could work. Maybe. No, it doesn't. No, they need to be 2 tiny dots. It doesn't. Otherwise, it doesn't keep it. All right. Now if I just need to move these teeth up a little bit, but I don't want them to be like massive. There we go. Get rid of those three. There we go. Then bring that up there. And then the main thing we need to also bring the do a bit of shadow on that's a bit too brown. I just use this and bring it bring it down a wee bit to about to about here. There we go. I apologize if my microphone's being bumped. All right, then maybe a little bit brighter for the dang it. A little bit brighter for the for a bit of a shine on his nose there. That's not the right kind of brightness I'm looking for. There we go. Cool. Now we just want. We're really close to finishing, which I was surprised by. I didn't think we'd be done that quick. Not for the entire stream, but just for this particular commission. Bring that in. Shuffle it in. We'll give him a nice bit of 3D lighting in a second. Now the main thing would be there we go. That's working. Then we need to make it a bit brighter with like kind of a nicer kind of beigey hue. An Xbox 360 with Sonic 06. Well, it would. I'm sure it would freak out some kids for how awful the game is. But okay, then we bring up one more just for the gem here. Let's see, about there. Yep. Then shuffle it over a bit. Then erase the top and bottom. That works. Then we using put a. Is that white? That's not white. That's grey. Come back here. That's it. Okay. Is that? Oh, okay. Weird. Yeah. All right. Then what about the? That's definitely the top. That's like FF. I didn't. Can't be right. Oh, well, anyway, it's all right. So then we just do a darker shade over here. Oh, okay. I'm on erasing. That's where. I hate it when that happens. Okay, there we go. I put that over there. Then I might just actually bring that back a bit. There we go. Then use the maybe one more. There we go. And then a little bit of a whatchamacallit, little socket for it right there. Maybe just on the other side there. That works pretty well. Now the annoying part, which is the shading. Sort of disguised as a Pomeranian. Oh no. Oh, the Grassburb is tool, but I'm afraid I just love I love Pompon's naught but sunshine smile. That is awesome. Okay, so a bit of there we go. A bit of shadows on here, I think. Bring that down to this side. So there we go. So then we shade around the top so it doesn't just blend in. So, and because there's a lot of light, we've got the direction of the light coming over there. We might just do a couple of stipples just to be on the safe side. Come here. So might just bring those over here and then bring that over like that. That could work pretty well actually. There we go, not too bad. Then a couple more around here. But we also want a bit of brightness around this area, so we don't want it to be, let's see, maybe, no, that's still darker. Still, let's see, let's make this a little brighter. Over here, about there-ish, all right? So then we got, there we go. There we go, we're getting some nice looks on the shading there. I might actually quickly grab this, and if I grab the color there and I make that the bright parts there, it doesn't quite work. Maybe if I do this, all right. I'll be playing Pocopia. I would love to do Pocopia, but we do not have a Switch 2. We cannot currently afford it, and even though I would dearly love to. So, that's still pretty good. All right, then. Okay, now let's see. We want just kind of a brighter version here. There we go. No, even brighter, please. Bring it up a little higher to about there. There we go. Lovely. Okay, top. There we go. Let's see. And then we'll do a bit of darkness too, but we don't want to make it too... We mainly just want to make sure that the light's coming from one direction, which is this one. Okay. It's, maybe a little bit over here. Get over there. And then a bit more over here. Might just want to erase. There we go. That's a bit better. Yep, that'll work. Hey, stop that. Okay, then a slightly darker grey for the inner highlights. There we go. But I don't want to go too, you don't want to go too detailed though, otherwise it loses the sort of gamey feel to it. I feel like I'm losing a bit here. Hold on. We're getting there though. Let's see. Okay. You want to make sure that you keep the color palette limited, or else you don't quite get that sort of video gamey feel to it. I feel like we need a bit of stippling on the, I don't know if stippling is even the right word for it, but we need a bit of it on here. So where's the coloring? There's actually like a brush that I can use, but I prefer to sort of do it exactly myself. Okay, there we go. Okay, then bring that down to about there. Okay, then bring this over to about, let's give it a full thing. There we go. That's actually looking pretty darn good. I am quite chuffed with that. We just need to, there we go. Oh yeah, need a bit of, just need to adjust the darkness over there. Excuse me, I wish to adjust the darkness. Thank you, sir. So maybe a bit of this here. There, get that out of the way. Yep, that'll work. Maybe a little bit more brightness over here. Again, I don't want to let perfect be the enemy of done, but we're getting there. We just need to, there we go. Just a bit more, not too much more. Don't. Don't pull it too hard. I might just do a tiny bit of shading on the lower end, but otherwise this should be done very soon. Okay, I apologize if I'm covering the microphone. There we go, a little bit of texture. Okay, that's pretty good. All right, now might just... Yep, that'll work. Now zoom it out. Let's see the main thing. Yep, looking good. Now we bring in the body, looking great. I don't like that. I think we need to. I think we need to actually make this part of his body. There we go. Not quite. About there. So yeah, get a couple of black spots in this part here. Okay. No, we want to make a part of this one. So let's just undo this all for now. We want to switch to this one. We'll make it so that the dark spots are over here. Hold on. So about there. It's here. There, I think. Okay, bring down to the actual pinkishness. Ah, not quite. All right. Let's see. Where's the? I might just use the brush for this. There we go. There we go. That's a bit chunkier there. That works out. Okay, not quite. I think I need to make it so that the arm blends in a bit more there. That should work. There we go, yep. Maybe a little more. Yep. Then a bit more of the brightness on this side, and then we should be nearly done. All right. Yeah, torn on whether to get a switch to. I am looking forward to like Scarlet and Violet in 60 frames per second. We'll have to see. Yeah. All right. Now then, we're nearly there. Now we just need a quick background, which should be like just like a circle overlooking overlooking the ocean would kind of work the best, wouldn't it? All right, so now we just need to make a new one, a new layer. No, bring the new layer down here, please. In the background. Now we want a circle. So what's the shape tool here? We don't want that. We want it filled, and we want. Do we want this stroke type? Watercolor, I think. Let's see, shape type. Yep. We don't want the perfect ratio. But we do want to like make it so that he's sitting on. Okay, there we go. Shall we sitting on kind of a yellow? There's not much of a let's see. Let's see. That could work, except I made it too small. Okay, so about. Where's the button? Okay, no, not that one. I need to. I think I've got it starting from the middle. There we go. So about there. There we go. That's nice. Except I'll also fill it with a bit of a gradient, I'd say. Where's the gradient? There we go. And the gradient will be like from this one to sort of a browner color, I think. Let's try that. So generate a gradient. No, that is much too clean. That is much too clean. Hold on. We want a nice dithering gradient, please. So let's just go for an 8x8. See how that looks. That's pretty nice. Yeah. Problem is that it matches his gut a bit too much. So we want to fill it in first to be like a... Let's see. That kind of works. Where's a better one? Orange, maybe? Let's see. Orange with a bit of green could work. Oh no, there we go. Sort of a lighter green, and then have a bit of a gradient of a darker, of kind of a yellow there. So go for a gradient, and it'll be that one and a nice kind of orange yellow. Dang it. Excuse me. And then make sure that the dithering is a nice 4x4 maybe this time. There we go. And then we'll get a big kind of sort of I keep forgetting I'm going from the middle here. A big kind of background cliff, I'd say. Bring that down. Oh wait, okay. You want kind of a background cliff. But that's not going to work exactly at the moment, so no. Adjust the time and darkness. All right, so I'll make another layer underneath this one, so that way I can give it kind of a cliff kind of feel to it. Except what we will do instead is about there-ish, yeah, there we go. Then bring that down to here. There we go. We're getting there. Now let's brush a bit with the some earthy browns. I might just make the brush a little bit bigger. That's a bit too big. And we want to make it kind of spray-like. There we go. But we also want the spray to be not too much. There we go. That doesn't quite work. Although maybe we could just do some rocks would be nice. But no, that doesn't look very nice. I think what we just need to do here is an ocean at the moment. So the best thing to do would be one more layer. It's weird that I'm putting in so many layers one after the other here, but we'll make it big over here. We'll set the ocean for the background. Set it behind layer 6. Maybe not quite. Stretch it out a bit. There we go. About like that, I'd say. Except I want you to be blue. Let's see. I want you to be blue, thank you. So we'll go to the fill and make it sort of a darkish blue. That's pretty good. Then we'll do what I quite like doing, which is get a white spray, then just kind of, okay, and then we want to just kind of put a gradient on to the sort of a, so, and then, cool, then no dithering, we want a bit of dithering, bit of this. Yeah, there we go. Except I think the I feel like this layer isn't quite working out, although actually this could actually work out pretty well if I just kind of erase this part here. Let's see if I can make this work. So what we do is we make it, yeah, there we go. Bring it down. Darn it, I had this working for a second. Let's see. Okay, now, so instead of the, we'll make this a darker blue instead. Okay, except instead of that, we'll bring this around. Now, hold on. Darn it, why did I do okay and then it just suddenly went like crap? All right, I know what to do. Going back, let's just, I'm overthinking this a lot. Let's just do a nice regular gradient, please. And then bring that over here. Lovely. There you go. I just overthink it. And then I will just make kind of an earthy tone here, which will be like a red and brown. So like this one and that one, and maybe this one. And no, not you. I want that on this one, please. There we go. But too red. Maybe if I made it, if I could just change that from red to from a red to a kind of a dark green to a regular green to a reddish to a brown. Let's see what we got here. Okay. There we go. That's more like it. Except what we want is for it to be from the top here. We don't want the orange there, please. I just want the... Okay, hold on. I don't know why the... Okay, I can just make the green up top. There we go. Okay. I don't know why I'm overthinking the background so much. I really shouldn't have to. But it's all right. Then we go to there. And then we use the fill on the green there. Put that there. Yep, very cool. I might just make it so that it doesn't have a background so they can choose if they want it or not. But, yep, then I'll go to the head layer and then give that a nice brighter color. Looks pretty good. Although, yeah. Yep. You know what? Yeah, that red doesn't really work either. I thought it looked kind of cool, but I disagree with myself. So I'm going to... There we go. There we go. That's kind of nice. I'll do one without the background and one with the background, and whoever the commission can kind of choose for themselves. That's pretty good. Has there been a Bendy episode that's actually worked? It depends on whether they actually get their comeuppance or not. I don't think I've ever really seen it before. But okay, let's get rid of that. So I will save this. So what's the, I can't remember what the button is for saving it. Export. There it is. Export artwork. Now I need to size multiply it by 10 because at the moment it is very small. It wants to be a 640 by 640. Walking Tree Sloping PNG. And then I'll export that. Yep, that's about right. Now I'll do one more without the background just to see if they're on the safe side. All right. Save image. There we go. And then close that. Take the background away. And then and this. Yeah. And then we'll try again. No. I'll do Sloping no BG. Okay. There it is, and no BG. Okay. Very cool. Share and save. Let's save the image, and then I'll send that to them later. Now then, we probably have time for one more. and that'll be we'll have enough time for one more, and that's just that'll just be my stream. So let me just quickly check what the next one is. That is let's see, not that one, not that one. We did the Trubbish, we did the I wonder if I've actually got this. Oh, yep. Shiny Zeraora, did that. Am I actually caught up? That would be amazing if I caught up. Oh no, we've got Ninetales with a Game Boy Pocket. Oh, that sounds like that both sounds fun and unbelievably challenging, so that should be interesting. Let's see. Yeah, but I haven't done the Ninetales yet, so that should be interesting. Okay, so that's Alison Bennett, and that's in a Game Boy Pocket style. So this should be a bit quicker because it has much more constraints. I actually have a lot more fun doing the $10 ones. It's funny. All right, so let's see. That's 32 by 32. Okay, new artwork, 32 by 32, 32 by 32, and then the untitled artwork is, okay, that's Allison, and then underscore Ninetales. Okay, so that's done. So, but after we've done that, we need to choose. We need to get the right palette. That's the original Game Boy palette. We want the Game Boy Pocket palette. There it is. There we go. This one can be even more tricky because you have to get a Ninetales, but we also want to make it the right palette, and you want to fit it all into such a small location. Let me just quickly check if there are any others for now. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. All good. I think we might actually be caught up once we've done that. And then I just need to get back onto YouTube. Oh no, yeah, we got Mega Lucario. Okay, yeah, there we go. After this, it's Mega Lucario, but I can only really do two in a day, so we'll do the Ninetales first, and then next will be Mega Lucario. But that's going to be a massive one, so I'll check that out later. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, now here's a trick with using limited color palettes is that you never use the background for the brightest part of the color palette because you want to be able to allow for outlines and stuff to be bright. So let's see. What I'll do is I'll put that on there. Layer 2. Then we will use a 4-color palette. Oy. Okay. The only cheat is that I am allowed. The only cheat is that I'm allowed to use blue. I'm allowed to use light blue, but that's just for the for the background. Not for the background, for the sketch layer. So let's do that. Okay, brush type, regular brush. Thank you, sir. All right, so how are we going to pull this off? Make it so that you can see the Ninetales, but you also want to... Okay, what I could do is I could make a sort of like a Ninetales off to the side here, and then like a big kind of bit there, and then hang on. Let's see, 3. Maybe not. Yes, they want it. I want it to be thickish, or at least try to be thickish. That's pretty good. The problem is that I need the actual reference to make sure that the Ninetales face works well. Where is Ninetales? Hold on. Let's see. Because at the moment that looks more like a Borzoi. Okay. Ninetales. Okay. We want a front face on the Ninetales. Where we got? Do we have any? I don't want to have to go from the show. So I mean, like, I don't want to have to be as like. Is there a front facing Ninetales? Aha! That's it. There we go. Okay, there we go. I just need to be able to get the proper facial patterns here. Okay, so. Okay. So this I'm using a reference from off camera, just so that I can get this going. So then we've got, like, it's downwards, and then into about there, and then the ears come up to about here, and then we go in like that. Okay. Maybe no. The ears need to pop outwards about there, I'd say. No, they need to go upwards. Maybe like here and here. That could actually work out. Okay. And then like a bit of a nose thing there. Put that there. And then, okay, that could work. All right, let's see what we can. Oh wait, sorry, we got to get the eye line right. We got to make him look somewhat angry and awesome. That's kind of good. Let's see. What we want is to make it kind of angry, but we also want to be able to put the brow lines there as well. Let's see. So maybe if I did that, but then erase this, bring this over here. There we go. That can work. I might just bring that out a little bit. There we. Doesn't quite work, does it? Let's see. It was working for a second. Let me just come back to what it was before. Yeah. Maybe if I move this out here. There we go. That's nice. Yes. Then maybe a little bit of a snarl in there. About there. The snarl doesn't quite work, but it does work for this. Okay. So then we bring that up. Okay. Now I think we can make this work. Okay, especially with the face. Let's do the face first. So over here, let's get this going. Use the blackout line. Use the blackout line for the face part here. Okay. You want to make sure that the line doesn't go. You don't want the line to go too thick. Although I might be tempted to do that just for coolness factor. All right, bring that up. Yeah. I remember that particular episode of Foster's was really, really something. So, there we go. So. All right, there we go. Now we just need to get that dog ear, that foxish ear correct, which is about there. About like that. Yep, that'll work. Okay, then do we want the darkness to go to about here, I'd say. Okay. Maybe just those two. Then we need the that'll work. Now what we want is a couple of bright spots there, and then the super dark spots along there. Yep, that works pretty well. And then we want the, let's try and do a nice kind of, there we go. Give him a little anime fringe. That'll be awesome. Then we go up to there. Go up like that. Okay, then we get rid of the blues. All right, we're getting there. Now we just need to okay. Then the darker parts over here. There we go. Oops. Doesn't quite work. Oh yeah, that'll work a bit better. Don't want to. You want to save up some of the colors. Not quite. Cool. Blue speaking Japanese. It's so weird that Blue is also that the guy who does Blue is also the same person who does Reaper from Overwatch. All right, then. Okay, I'll bring those over there. Now I might just bring some. Do like a bit of an outline here, but such an outline that it's very much okay, so that it's very much like more of a darkness. Okay, a darkness that's surrounding it. And then we definitely need lots of brightness on the there we go. Darkness with no appearance. Yeah, we just did an episode on this particular Pokemon. That was fun. Let's see. Okay, then we do this one over there. Could I just... No, not you. Oh, wait, this is erasing. You don't want erasing. There we go. They didn't specify which Ninetales it was, so I'm just going to assume Kanto. I could do both, but that might be a bit weird. Okay. There we go. That's nice. Good, good. Then what we want is a bit more of a brush, I think. Let's put on the pressure sensitivity. No, not quite. There we go. Okay, then we do a bit of this, a bit of okay, something's not it's not quite coming together at the moment, but I think I can make it work in a second. Okay. What we can do is we'll make this part darker. Okay. Yeah, then we'll do bit of meshing here. Okay. Just to kind of blend it a bit. Get back here. Okay, bring that over there. I feel like I'm missing something there. Okay. Yep, get back. There we go. A little more. Yeah, I think I accidentally got the pattern a bit wrong. It happens. That's all right. Just need to reclaim it a little bit. Yep, that's good. Then we just need a bit of brightness along the top. Hey. There we go. Getting there. That's nice. I dig that. So same with the rest of them here. Because when you only have so much space, you need to be able to figure out what the you need to figure out how to make it stand out from a distance, especially. That's why it's always amazing, the original Game Boy sprites. There we go. Then we might just chill out on the cross-hatching a little bit over here. About there. And then up to about here. There we go, a bit more. Almost there. I mean, like, I feel like we're getting it already, which is good. Hey, get back here. Oh, wait. Alright, that's pretty good. Then move this over here a bit. Then get rid of that. Yep, that can work. There we go. I keep getting it a little bit off. Yep, that should hopefully work. Yeah, that's more like it. Kind of gives it a nice sort of brushy look. Oh yeah. Even with some very awkward green sprites, it's true. But like, they did the best they could. Okay, then the some dark ones over here. All right, about up here. Maybe a tiny bit up here. Okay. Then a bit more up this side, so we want... There we go. Nice. Then we just need to erase this lot so that it's a bit nicer to look at. Well, I mean, so that it blends in a bit better. I feel like it needs a bit more darkness here. And a bit more over this way. There we go. That's more like it. Should I make that? Yeah, that's a bit better. I wonder if Takahashi style could translate well into a JRPG. Yeah. I mean, probably. I mean, there's been some, I believe. I mean, I'm sure there's definitely been some Rubiko Takahashi games in the past. I just don't know if they really if they worked for it or not, but I think they did pretty well. So now we're just missing the last one. There we go. Then a bit darker up the top. Then maybe a little bit of no, that doesn't quite work. We want a bit of darkness there. Then maybe a bit of let's try this. Then a bit more over here. It's kind of getting it, but not quite there. Yeah, I dig it. Let's see. I think that's pretty darn good. I'll take that. Although I might just adjust this a little bit, just so that there's a bit more of an outline. Oh, there is one thing I missed there that I should probably add, and that's the neck silly. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Or at least pretty darn good. Surprisingly good. All right. Then I will save this, which is Sport Artwork times 10, probably. Is it time? Yeah, times 10 will work. Actually, now that I'm looking at it, I might just get rid of that tiny little bit there on the eye. Oops. Nope, that looks pretty good. Okay, save. Alright, and save to image. Alright. Okay, well it's kind of exhausting to, let's see, hang on a second. Oh yeah, they Ghibli did Ni no Kuni, but that was kind of a once in a while. It's surprising that I haven't done it again. All right, well, it's actually quite exhausting to stream and draw at the same time, but I did at least get two of them done, which is pretty amazing. I only have one big one left to do, I think, so I might do that another time. But for now, yeah. The next thing should be a scripting session, so watch out for that on the Patreon. And you can still watch along if you want to. It's just not streamed on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining in and for this weird little hybrid, and I'll see you all next time. Which is, yep. Okay. And then how do you stop it? It's the one thing I don't know how to do. Well, stop streaming, please. Oh, there it is. Active broadcasts. It probably tells you how to do it there. There we go. No, I don't want to start the broadcast. I want to stop the